ado sitsoke kalte what el sensades aholye ade nasha sensades adona kosoha apet kajo tona hakada holye tosa kazalan holye saha nala holye tohal tsaha holye ahot ego keya pije da holon adonasha eta toni wolyende not anit sa wolyende ebiketaya adonasha not anit sa hishnalit ende tihan dan lindo adonan kendanle ebits ade odezendotla sendotla ebits ade ekwe ado shije Harry so Begay senior wolyende ehot ela shmait atibeltetzi Elsie Benali Begay tisyaslande nala chenle biyede holye ahot ela ko ta tohot aholye heki atana hanne nlengi nlen lo ahot ego ila ikon hichi atole ko eki as ani bukado the wuji be caught enlen aheti tlen bet is ka has ado aheti tlen il has ado ella ikodo niche hanne ashle tole adonan ella akwane eki ella Utah Navajo Health System ado ella ikuta inishi ikuni hitkako hanne ashle tole hanne donan tken loko shetsuin lo kun Kirsten Harvey will yego ikwe hot edo le shilno shetsuit ego benna ida tsuin nigo ella ehot ela ado ella ikwe de nilnish Utah Navajo Health System 500 employees Jenna. Just the other night we had a blessing way ceremony at our Begay glittering dwelling ajiku ho once aji hot egoku hojoje beelia ado in the beelia. We got to hear some very wonderful songs. We had some members of the UNHS board of directors there. The honorable patient that sat for UNHS was my good brother Wilfred Jones. Present were Melinda Farley and then Larissa Jackson. Melinda is my sister, and then Larissa is my mom. And then we had some department directors present, and we also had some employees present. In as much a couple of patients and then some visitors. It was good. It was all for UNHS, the clinical operation, the Public Law 93 638 agreement between the Indian Health Services and the Board of Directors. And it was for the whole clinic and for all of the staff, and then for all of the things that are used to help the people of Utah and surrounding areas, our catch area. But then we service people all the way out to Farmington, Torreon, way out there, Thoreau, Gallup, Winslow, even as far as Tuba City. They come here. So it was good to have that ceremony, and you all were included in those prayers and songs. So that is where that we are. Utah Navajo Health System is unique in its own way. Before that, about a month ago, we had the protection ceremony. Protection ceremony. It was against all the negative energies, the negative sicknesses and illnesses that we have to that we have to combat with, if you will, that we have to be on the warpath against. So we had that done, and then the blessing way ceremony following up with that. So that's what we are coming through. Soul to stay. The day that our Father, the Sun, turns clockwise and goes toward springtime and summertime, where it's believed that all good things are on our path as we go forward. Good things are in our path as we go forward. So to be optimistic that way and to be positive that way, that's the mindset that was put there in prayers and in songs. So on the other hand, I think that we all are like that every morning when we get up, wherever we call home, get up and get ready and make our way over here to this clinic and then also to the one at Blanding and at Monument Valley and then over at Navajo Mountain. So that's that. So with that, then uh, winter stories. Winter stories. Yesterday, the Hojogo Ina 365, the UNHS version of JMI, just move it with Indian Health Services. We, Hojogo Ina and we presented out at Flagstaff, Arizona, to the Navajo Nation government's Division of Social Services. Man, oh man, did we have a crowd. We went into string games and then we also covered some winter stories. So now is the time for that. That is why the nights are longer. So the stories can go longer. And then that's where then patience is what it takes. And then just listening to grandpa and grandma go through these stories. So that's that. Today we're going to talk about protection in the form of the first protection that came about, the bear shush, and then the wolf, and then, or rather, the bear, and then the cougar, and then the gigantic snake, and then the porcupine. Those four grandfathers. So, without further ado, then, who were they requested to protect? That's where we'll start. Then, in that way, that will then answer who are we? Where did we come from? Who made us? Oral traditions is what these are, passed down. And then they are just told. They are told as one grows and develops and prospers. And come to think of it, it's in no way like you're told that you have to believe this. Believe it now. Hurry, hurry, before it's too late. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just a story that went smoothly. And that's where then you would listen and it created interest. Because our people believe that your belief is your business. It's your decision. What you want to believe in. What you want to believe in. It's yours. So in that way, it should be understood that this presentation here is that way. It's a story that goes that people can listen to and all of that, so forth and so on. So that's that. So then in that way, then uh, we do it in English because it has come to be the dominant language. The other night in the whole gun setting with that medicine man, my good uncle Roger Nelson of Jones Ranch, sitting there, Techelka area, Jae, of that area, as we sat there, he repeated some of these stories in Navajo. that setting right there with that dirt floor and then sitting there, that was really good with the fire going there. It was wonderful. That setting, it was appropriate for that. And that's what we went through. Today, we are into this technology age that we're using these things to communicate. And this is what Iina Bihoo'aah is all about, to have this presentation. But there will be some traditional language here and there. So once upon a time, we were all just air spirit people. We're just air people. That's all that we were, that lived here within the four sacred mountains. We were living here. And it was known that the woman that was brought forth from the holy people's place, from their home, the dwelling of dawn from there, from way deep within the dawn, and then the summer, and the autumn, and then the winter, from way deep within uh, spring and summer and fall and winter, from over there, where the holy people live. That's where she was sent from, over here to this Mother Earth. She came here. And it was here that she gave birth to twins. And these twins, they went out and they killed monsters that were here. They killed these monsters. And then that paved the way for us, Earth surface people, to live here. So when that happened, then over to the west, way out west, there was a wonderful dwelling that was made for her over there. A wonderful dwelling that was made for her. And she moved over there, and she was over there. She was the one that was our mother. So one day the decision came to be that we need to go visit her. We need to go see her. So that's where then, by the path of the rainbow, and then by the path of the lightning, the sunbeam, the sunlight, by their path, meaning they were used as a form of transportation. That's how that our people went way over there. When they got there, they approached her from her home from the east. And as they came in, they noticed that it was a very beautiful place. And as they got near her dwelling, the round dwelling, as she was off on what she had to do, like we all do chores, our people got there. They got there. There was a door flap, Dotton Bath, and they went in. It was their mother's home. They went in. There was no door. There was no knocking on the door. They just went right in, right in. And then once they got in, then they went and helped themselves to some water and some food. And was into her 80s, and 90s. And she got back over there by the doorway, and then she stepped across. Before she stepped across, she was an old woman, 102 years of age. She stepped across, and she became young again. And that's where that they said, Astanat Leth. She has become a fine young woman again. Astanat Leth. That became to be Astanat Leh. She did that. So then it makes you think that she represents life from birth to old age. So then she came back down and she sat down and they visited. They visited with her, telling her stories, and she was telling them stories. And then there came to be a time, the moment came that they had to leave, that they had to go. That's where then they told their mom, Mom, we have to go now. And then she said, My children, yes, you have to go. And that's where then, as children, they said, Mom, you have to go with us. We want to go with you. We want to go back with you. That's what they asked her, and she said, Wait, children. No, I'm good here. Everything's good here. There's a wonderful place there, 4 sacred mountains, wonderful place that's there for you. That's for you. Go back over there. No, Mom, they said, we want you to go with us. That exchange went back and forth 4 times. That's where then she said that, okay, I think there's time for us to go into another time in our life, another phase in our life, in this process called life. We have to make another step. So that's where then she told them all to sit there as air spirit people. She told them to sit there. And that's where then what she did was she sat there and she reached out and she got some of a piece of that dawn, if you will. She got that. It was like a buckskin. It was like a piece of paper. She got that with her left hand and with her right hand. So in essence, 2 pieces. And she put those down. She put those down before her. She put them down. That was dawn. And then she took out her sacred medicine bundle. And out of that, she had some things with her that were neatly bundled up in buckskin, different bundles. And out of that, she lined them up. Then she took one out, and it was a white bead, Yoske. She put that right on both of the buckskin of dawn that she put down. She put 2 pieces there, one on each side, on the left and on the right. Then she took turquoise and she put those down too. Then she took what we turquoise is dotleji. Then she took abalone shell, she put those down too. And then she took obsidian or blackjack basheni, she put those down too. And then she took a crystals, 2 of them, placed them down too. Then as she said, she took her right hand and she went into her blouse, and then she rubbed on top of her left breast and took some of her sweat and put that down on the left side. She took her left hand and went under her blouse again and rubbed the top of her right breast and put that sweat down also. And then she took the sacred corn pollen. She put that down too. So all in all, there were 7 minerals that she put down on both sides. 7. White bead, turquoise, abalone shell, obsidian, crystal, her sweat, and then karatin. 7. The same over here. She put them down, and then she neatly wrapped it. and then she began to sing and pray. And as she sang and she prayed, the fire began to stir clockwise. It began to move around. And out of there was a source of light that came out, and it went into that rolled buckskin of dawn. It lit into that. It shone into that. Both sides, that's what happened. And then following that was water, water, very small trickle of water trickled into there. And then the air went into it. Air went into that. And then it began to swirl. It began to swirl. And then here they saw a baby boy and a baby girl in the form that we are today. In the form that we are today. White bead had become the teeth and the bones. Turquoise became the nerves and veins. Abalone shell became the fingernails and the toenails. Obsidian, black stone, became the eyes and the hair. Crystal became the brain. And then where she rubbed the top of her left breast, and for the female, her right breast, that depicted that mating would be a source of way to reproduce. That's what that meant. And then the dirt, the sacred corn pollen, became the skin. So those 7 minerals were what we were made from. So in that way, then comes the understanding that we are part of nature, and that we are within nature, and nature is within us, and we communicate with nature, and nature communicates with us. That connection is there. So we are those people. Nohoka the yindana, nohoka the earth surface people. So that's how she made us. And that's where then that one that she made first, that became the Dawn clan. The Dawn clan. Next, she took day. She took day. It was turquoise. She put down 2 buckskins again of day, turquoise. She repeated everything as I told you, and there was a boy and a girl again. And then they came to be the Day clan. That's what they became, the Day clan. And then she repeated that by bringing the dusk, the buckskin of dusk, evening. She brought evening, twilight, dawn, twilight time. You could say that. She put that down and she repeated it again. That came to be the evening clan. And the same with darkness, nighttime. She put down the buckskin of darkness. She put that down. And that became the night clan. So those were the first clans. And then she gave them each a sacred cane. Sunkish, we call it. Sunkish. White bead cane to the Dawn clan. Turquoise bead cane to the Day clan. And then abalone shell cane to the Evening clan. And then the black bead cane to the Night clan. She gave them that. So we all have that spiritual cane that's there. So in that way, then, number 1 depicts Salah Allah, which means that your mother and your father come to unison and come to be one, and from there your umbilical cord lays across from your mother to you, and that's how life begins. And then from there, then 2 then depicts that There is the right side of your body, that's your mother. The left side of your body, that's your father. So then there is female and then there is male. That's the way that life goes. That's the only way that life is sustained. That's the only way that birth happens. That's the way that it goes. So then from there, then that number three, then depicts that footprint that we're on, that's one and two. And then that cane mark, that makes it number three. So that's where the story of the numbers then go forth, right there. And then we have four clans. That's number four. Your mother's clan, your father's clan, your mom's dad, your maternal grandfather, Nitshe, his clan. And then Kwaje, your dad's dad, Aje, your paternal grandfather, his clan, Edo Nenale. So that's what that four then comes in. That's what makes everything holistic. And then we have five fingers, right and left, right foot and left foot. And my grandfather was a Kenyaani. He said that that's where this one, your pinky, depicts you as a baby, that you're going to be a baby. Your ring finger depicts you as a child. Your middle finger depicts you as an adolescent. Your pointer depicts you as an adult, and then your thumb depicts you as a senior citizen. The stages of life, 5 stages of life you can go through. So the reason that you're living is all within the palm of your hands. It's there. Life from birth to old age. That's why you were given 5 fingers. And then on this side, the same way, you have 5 fingers and they have reasons and purposes. Then you have 5 toes on your right foot, 5 toes on your left foot. They all have reasons. So that's where that 5 comes in. And then 6. 6 represents strength. It represents stability. Just like the sacred mountains of Sisna Jana, so it's Dogo Sleet, the Bensa, Zilna, Zil means stability. Zil means strength. So we have stability. So in that way, then from this side, you came from your mother's plasma, egg, and then blood. You came from your father's plasma, sperm, and blood. Chromosomes, as they're called. They got together, and that's where you came from. And that to this day is depicted as Nadal Ishki, Nadal Suit Ed, Tadadin Ishki, and Anit Ed, Sanagayishki, Begajon at Ed. Those 6 words there are in the prayers and songs that were used the other night. That is the essence of life. That is healing. That is the way life goes. That's where that comes in. So 6. 7. 7 senses. Your sense of sight, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of hearing, your sense of feeling. And then you have a grandpa over here. That grandpa is here and you're sleeping and you notice something that's not good around. That's where your bad dream comes in. It's that grandpa telling you there's something negative around. And then over here is a grandma. And then that grandma is your good dream that's telling you, pointing you in the right direction, dreaming about something good. You're after that. That's what that good dream is. So 7 senses, 7 colors of your body, 7 colors of your body. 7 things that make up your body. 7 things that make you a person. That 7 there, that is where diagnosis comes in. Diagnosticians will not tell you that. The significance of those 7 colors, the significance of those 7 things that make up your body, the significance of those 7 things that make you a person. And then there is 8. Once upon a time, they used to call 8 B, not say B as we say now. B, from the time that you are conceived, your physique, your body develops. From that time, from the umbilical cord, your heart, your eyes, your brain, and then your spinal cord, your backbone, your tail, your sexual organ, your arms, your legs, your feet, your hands, your toes, your fingers, all of that. By 6 months of pregnancy, it's told that your nose forms last. So that is the 8th part right there. And that's where then that really marks who you are, your nose, then quit B, see, that's what that is. And then from there, then we go to number 9, which is Nahaste, or in old school, Nahastat, meaning water break. You turn clockwise and you're ready to be conceived. So that's where those numbers are very significant. And that is why I mentioned earlier that a man and a woman sustain life. As long as there's a man and a woman, there will be birth and birth. It will go on. It will never end. That's why they chose 9 months of pregnancy. That's why they chose that. And that's why it goes to 9 months. So if you count, you go to 9, then you go to 10, then you start all over with 11, which is like 1. Then you go to 19, it's like 9. 20 is like 10, 21 is like 1 again. You're just going to go on, count and count and count. A million, a billion, a trillion, a zillion. You'll never stop counting. Somewhere you'll have to start making them up. It doesn't end. Cogito, 9 months pregnancy, a man and a woman. This birth goes on and on and on. There's no end. There's change. There's change. This is Navajo oral tradition. That's life. So that's what happened there. The form that we are, it came from that. So we are part of nature, and then in that way, we communicate with nature. In that way, we are within, it is within, and that's how life goes. So that's that. So then that's where they were. Dawn clan, day clan, evening clan, and night clan. There, okay, then they were ready to go. Then they said, Mom, we still want you to go with us. So that's when there had to be an agreement. That's where this mother of ours, Yoske's son, that's who she was. And when they saw her there, the way that she went from young to old age, just like right before their eyes, a son not less, that's where then she told them, okay, children, go back to the 4 sacred mountains. And be rest assured that I will come every spring. That means that the 7 Pleiades, the Yah, will come this way, and then I'll come around. I'll come around. No wonder the holy people taught us to start planting until after the 7 Pleiades go. So that's what happens. And then everything starts here. She said, that's me. These vegetations that grow, they're growing all summer. Then come autumn, just right before there, that's where then, that's the extent. Jane, I'll be there with you. Then I'll go back, and then seven Pleiades will be here again. There is that process that they agreed upon. So that's what happened. So in that way, then, that's where they say that we came back. We came back. And then we landed. And I believe that's where then the scientific stories, the science begins. You American Indians, you cross way over there from Russia to Alaska. That's what they'll tell us, and that's what we read, and that's what we tend to believe. That's true, but that's where we were set back down on this Mother Earth, and we travel all the way back this way. So they even said one time, we live among those people over there, the ice people, the snow people, the cold people. We live among them, and we live among their pets, the walruses and the sea lions. They were there, and they barked like dogs, and we got along with them really good. And some of them, they decided to follow us because we got used to them. And that's where then the holy people, they came and they said that let those sea lions and walruses, let those that bark like dogs, let them stay here. This is a place for them. There's a place for everything. There's certain things that don't belong in certain places. That's what they said. Leave them there. We have something else for you over here. And that was dogs. So we have our history with dogs. Today it's good to have a dog, to take care of them, feed them, take care of them. But their place is outside the door. That was the way that they believed. They belong out there. They have their own way of surviving out there. So that's that. So that's where then it came to be like a way of protection, a way of someone out there to take care of you, to look out for you. The same with a horse, the same with sheep and goats. That's what they are. So in that way, that's what happened. And then they came back. They say that they came back from the west, from the west, from west of Flagstaff. They came in on I-40, Diné. I'm just kidding, okay? You're all serious. They came back from the west, and then right there, they got back to Earth. They got back to Earth again. So they were there, and then that's where then oratory divinity, and then dwelling divinity, Hashewan. They met them there. They met them there. And that's where then they sat down, and then they were told, wait here, wait. You're all pure and clean. Everything's good about you. You are about to embark right back into the first sacred mountains. You are here. You need protection. You need protection. You're all pure and clean and perfect in every way. Everything's good about you, but you need protection. So that's where then they were told that this protection has to be out there for you. You're going to all have a home like your mother over there. You're going to have a home. You're going to have a fire. You're going to have a pail of water bucket. You're going to have dishes. You're going to have food. And you're going to have ceremonial items. And you're going to have bedding where you're going to rest. You're going to have the process. And outside, you're going to have a place where you can put your charcoal, the ashes. There's going to be a place for them. You're going to put them. You're going to have a sweat lodge. You're going to have a corral. And then you're going to have a farm. You're going to have that. So in all of that, then you're going to have to take care of that. But then there are some negative energies out there. You've come around clockwise, we go clockwise, always go clockwise, and then based on that, know that all good things go clockwise. The Navajo wellness model, all good things go clockwise. In that way, then they were told that remember, always go clockwise, because there are such negative energies out there that are there to trip you, to infect you, to bother you, to mess you up. They're out there and they go counterclockwise. They're out there. In that way, you have to be protected. So because of that, then you're going to need protection, is what they were told. So then, like many of you are thinking, what are those obstacles? What are those negative energies? What are they? So then, that's where then they were told, these negative energies cannot be seen. They go around. They go around. And they said, this is where then coyote tales are here. Ma'ijol tloshe bahanne. Ma'ijol tloshe. And this is where that there is a beginning. There's a beginning. There's a place called the Black World. There's a place called the Turquoise Blue World. There's a place called the Yellow World. This is right about where everything's at, is what they were told. In this black world, that's where the stories begin. Turquoise blue world, the yellow world. This is where we're at. It goes on. It goes on. Then they were told that there was a time before the black world. There's worlds before them. We don't want to know about them. We don't want to talk about them. But the black world, that's where then first man and first woman were put down. And they're the ones that started there. First boy and first girl were actually twins. And then first girl and first boy, second set of twins. And then two boys, third set of twins. And then fourth set of twins, two girls. That's how that story goes. It's what they were told. First man and first woman. They tried their best to go to righteousness, but there was these negative energies that came along. And all of that was just the worst thing was the respect for mating. It is pleasurable, and that's where it got out of hand. And that led to adultery, that led to all these things. That's what happened. That's why fire had to destroy that world. And those that lived the righteousness, they were spared from being destroyed by that fire. That's where moth came from. That's where incest came from. That's where molestation and assault and all of that, adultery, that's where that happened. That's why fire destroyed that world. Came to the turquoise blue world, Started out again, they came upon birds. Birds are the one that retaught our people parenting. Parenting, proper parenting, we learn from the birds. They went that way, but then some of the birds had a negative behavior, and some of the insects had negative behavior. They started arguing over land, and air destroyed that world. Actually, what happened back in the black world was that fire said that children, grandchildren, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be committing adultery. Don't be doing those things. Incest is not for you. Molestation, assault, all of that's not for you. Don't do that. Fire said that. They couldn't listen. That's why fire destroyed that world. They came to the turquoise blue world. And here again, they started arguing over land. The air said, grandchildren, children, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't argue over land. Don't argue. I give all of you life, breath of life. Don't do that. They kept right on doing it. And that's where then the air blew some air and out came the little twister going counterclockwise. Now getting off this sea. They still didn't understand. Sandstorms came. They still didn't understand. That's where the tornado came. That's what happened. They still didn't understand. There was an ice age. First man and first woman, some of them, they survived. That's why we came to the yellow world. When we came to the yellow world, that's where then Mother Earth and Father Sky, they met. They met. They met. Right now, throughout Navajo, that's what's happening. Mother Earth and Father Sky are meeting and mating. We see the fog come in. We see the fog come in. Mating. We're going through that process. We went through that. We're going into that. That's where we are at. So when that earth and that sky, when they met, they were going their ways again. And here they saw a movement over on this side. And it was a badger, just keeping to himself, just focus on where he was going. They saw that. And then over here, they saw somebody trying to attract attention, having that walk and all of that, and trying to attract attention. That was the coyote. Guess where the focus went? Yes. Yes, Sahar, the coyote. That's where everybody looked over there. That's what happened. Not over here. Because this badger, went along and realized that it was getting cold. And the first thing it did was it made a home, made everything comfortable, had a place to stay, established that home. And then from there, and then found somebody to live with, and then begin a life. He did that, did all things properly. But the coyote just got into different things to the point where that he killed his children because he thought they would look better and look good like the fawns, have nice spots on their butt. That's what he was wanting to do, but he killed his babies. And the mother coyote just was crying there, laying around, crying. Dead pups, coyote pups. He just took off. He just went his way, left. But that's where then the holy people, they really felt sorry for these dead coyote pups, that they brought them back to life. And then over here, brought the mother back to life. And that's where then the holy people told them, Okay, young Coyote, you go over this way and you hold up this Mother Earth. And then you, female Coyote, you go on the other side and help your brother hold up this Mother Earth. Two of them. Then the third one, you, young man, Coyote, go over here. You hold up the sky. And you, young female Coyote, go on this side. Hold up the sky. You are the leaders. They were sent out there to hold up Mother Earth and Father Sky. That's what happened. Jinn. And then from there, the next one that came along, the Coyote, next one, they said, you go and you go into dawn. And every dawn, you holler. You'll be called as the one that hollers at dawn. You will bring life to everything with your sound. That's why if you hear a coyote holler at dawn, that's a calling. That's a calling. Time to wake up, time to get up, time to move around. And then the next one, the next coyote, which was the sixth one, that one was told, you're going to have a gift and a talent. You're going to be given a traditional whip. You're going to be called Altse Hashkeha, the first scolder. So then that first one makes it sound just like that, saying, get up, son, get up, daughter. That's what that father is saying. Then if you don't listen, then the other part, that scolder, the whip, that's where it'll come in. Whip you to get you ready for life. Traditional whipping, traditional scolding. That's where it comes in. That's what is unique that we have. And it ain't child abuse. It ain't that. It's something that was very sacred that we had. But in order to be a scolder and in order to whip your children, you had to live up to a certain principle in life. That was the way it was carried on. And as a mother, but then this one, he got into everything. And he was the one that went right back to the practice in the black world. He was always looking around just for girls, female. That's all he was looking around for. He came to one, got a child. He went over this way, got another one, got another child. Went over here, got another child. Went over here, got another child. 4 children. Went back to number 1, got a second child. Second child over here, over here, over here. And then went back over there again to the first woman. 3 children over there, 3 children over here, 3 over here, 3 over here. 4 times he was thinking, and everything happens 4 times. He went back over there to that woman toward the east. Can we again? She says, no way. No way. And then he says, why? Is there somebody else? Jealousy. See? You got somebody else? You seen somebody else? Somebody else come in here? Jealousy came from him. And then she told him the facts. She said that, listen, this first child of yours is just so lazy. This second one is just forgetting everything that he is told. This next one is just mischievous. Is just that way. They're that way. And they're your children. And I think they went and copied your ways. Stupidity. This is the way they are. Because I believe you're like that. And then he turned right around and says, no, it's you, woman. It's you. It's how you feed them, how you tana'in, how you fix the dough, how you cook for them. That's why they're like that. She said, no, it's you. Coyote got mad. He hit his woman. He hit that woman, beat her up, helpless woman. That's where domestic violence came from. That's what he did. The woman, she tried to fight back. And all these kids, they were just jumping up and down. Yeah, get him, hit him back, hit him back. Like being at a boxing ring. That's what happened. Then he went off and he said, no, I don't need your woman. I can go find somebody else. I got someone. Went over there to the south. Went to that woman. Made the same request. Was turned down. No. And that's where then he was told, your children aren't too good. These children. This one is just so mean and a bully. The bully. That's where bullies came from. And then this one is just pouty all the time. Not chko'i. And this one right here is just envious. That's how this one is of these two others. And then he says, it's because of you. Then no, it's because of you, says the woman. Another fight. Children laughing. I don't want you, he says to that woman. I got someone better looking than you. Went over to the west, saw that woman. Same thing. No. Children that I gave birth to for you, they're not doing too good. This first one just gossips. It says, this next one is just greedy. Then this one right here doesn't know how to conserve or take care of anything. Everything just wears poverty. Another fight. And then over this way, toward the north. Same thing. This one is just has a lot of bacteria and lice. This one is just overweight and diabetic and all. This one's just sick. They're this way. It's you, another fight. So because of that, Coyote, 12 negative energies that were children came along. And they were here. They were there. And this is what these 4 clans had come back to. They were there, and the holy people saw them and recognized them. So right away, what oratory divinity and dwelling divinity did was recognize these negative energies, and then with the help of the disciplinarians, they put in teaching mechanisms, like for laziness over here, they put in activeness. For being forgetful, they brought in having a good memory. That's what our people, it was always oral traditions. It wasn't written or anything like that. Like I'm telling you now, no handouts, just pure oral traditions. And then this one for stupidity, they put in just simply being wise. They put that in. And then over toward this way, toward the south, the behavior. So these, the laziness and then the forgetting and the stupidity, that deals with the mind. That deals with the mind. Over here is behavior. The bully, that one, it came to be on the right side. The proper teaching, the corrective teaching for that was to teach a child to have a self-positive concept. And then to take care of being pouty was to be mindful. To take care of being envious was to have care for what they have and for one another. And over to the west, gossip was good stories to be told. And then greed was to share, like the ceremony when a baby laughs for the first time. They take traditional salt and they place it in the palms of the baby. They put it in the palms of the baby, then they give it out to people. What that depicts is that that baby will have respect and generosity to people. That's what that whole process is. They use traditional salt because the salt clan, they are known to have respect and they are known to be generous. So that's what they did. And then to about the poverty to conserve. Learn to conserve. Don't spend all your money at Walmart. Learn to conserve. Though over here, the lice and bacteria was hygiene. Though in the bad diet was simply good diet. Though in the sickness was just simply being healthy to practice that. So those 12 teachings were put there, and they're there today. And it is told that these 12 negative energies will never go away. They will always be there. So that's why we have these 12 good teachings and disciplines to go by. So then it comes to you as a person to deal with that. You have to keep the good teachings going on and to let this dwindle. So let's talk about laziness. We all get lazy at one time or another. That's a daily thing that we have to deal with. Laziness is so wonderful and beautiful for people my age. Laziness looks like Jennifer Lopez. So in the morning, J-Lo comes into bed. Wait a minute, no, J-Lo. No. I got to get up. I got to get to Montezuma Creek. I got to get to Unix. I got to get to the place that I work, I guess for people, females, it's either going to be Leonardo DiCaprio or whomever. So that's for, or George Strait for some ladies. So there's that. Be careful with that. That is what the holy people saw when these clean, pure people, dawn clan, and then day clan, and evening clan, and night clan, came in. They saw that. And that's where then they said, these people need somebody outside their door to protect them. Who can we get to protect them? And the first thing they thought of was the bear. The grizzly bear is the most ferocious. Learn the grizzly bear song. Then the black bear, the blue bear, the yellow bear, the polar bear, the white bear. See, those bears, they were there physically, but then they were replaced by these songs that are there. So they were there. They took care of them. They were given to the Dawn clan. And then to the Day clan, they went and they got the cougar with nails, sharp nails, French nails. That's all, yeah. But they were natural and they were not painted. That's what they got. The cougar. Very ferocious. They got that for protecting the Day clan. And then there used to be, don't think bull snake because that's evil. My grandfather, he said that the rattlesnake is our grandpa. He has a gourd that he shakes. That's his protection. He has a boundary. He has a boundary. As long as you stay out of that boundary, that rattlesnake won't come after you. He's a protector. He's going to come around you. If he comes around your home, he's telling you, grandson, granddaughter, have a protection away ceremony. Do something. Something bad is coming. It's telling you that. But that bull snake, that one is sure no good. That bull snake. The yosh. The coach whip. Ishka. The one that will kind of stand up at you. That's the bully. That's the bully. That's just the way bullies are. They're like that. They use their eyes. They stand up to you and flex their muscle. That's that. Coach whip. They have that power. But this one, this particular one, the gigantic snake was actually like a reptile. They say all of these animals were upright. One time the bear stood up and walked like the human being. The cougar stood up and walked. And then even this one, the alligator, like gigantic, he would stand up and walk that way. He became the protection to the evening clan, Quetzalcoatl. And then they knew that even somebody small is powerful. And that's where the porcupine became the protector to the night clan. So then they came with them and they came onto the res, if you could say it. And then other clans were found around here. And they saw these clans, nature, the holy people, they made these clans. Even the female rain made the Tatnasani clan to be nice and gentle and beautiful, like my Masana out there. They did all these clans. They came about. So in that way, then, when they first saw the Dawn clan, they said, who is that? Who is that? That's where then it was explained to them that this person comes from that place where the white bead, white shell dwelling floats on water, where changing woman lives. That's where he comes from. That's where he's from. That's what they were taught. So they just call him Kinyaani. That's the first clan. That's my Nali, and that's his story that I'm telling you, the Kinyaani story. So that's where they came from there. Then this next one over here, the one that the cougar protects. Who's that clan? That they call him Day. They said Day clan. That's about who's he? Then they said, oh, that's the To'ohanet clan. To'ohanet clan. Then who's that one back there? That evening clan. Who's that? Oh, that's the Twodich-Eatney clan. Twodich-Eatney clan. Then what about this one over here, the night clan? That's the Hashlishni clan. So that's what happened. And that's where then it was their action. That cane, they were thirsty, they needed water. He poked his cane into the earth and there was no water and kept saying, it's just a little ways, so they call him. The one over here, the Twodich-Eatney, poked his cane in there, and then when he was going after water, it came out. They all jumped it, and it was bitter water. Then this one over here, the night clan, when he poked his cane in there, it was just all muddy. So it was by action. Then that's where that clan came. Jehotza, clan names. So that's where the 4 protections. So then by that, they are there. So they know that these protectors, they know who owns the home. They know where you put your charcoal or ashes, where your sweat lodge is, where your cornfield is, where your corrals at. They know just where your indigenous, unseen home site lease line is at. So that's where this protector, it knows that that's what it protects. Akunzaho. Then when you go around you, it protects you. So in that way, then no negative energy can come into that, nor anybody can get mad at you and tell you off or anything like that, because they are then in your boundary. Thereby, then you know that people have boundaries, and then that you can't go within that. You have to be careful about that. We have to be careful about that. So that's what was learned from all of that. That's where the protection they came in. And then in time, then those protection, those animals, then they made their own homes, and then they gave us these songs, and that's where we have protection with songs. Even the horned toad has protection with songs, and that's what we use. And then we have protection with items. To have an arrowhead with you all the time, you have protection, because you don't know when this laziness or this forgetting or stupidity or somebody that's bullyish, they're going to come around. You never know that. So you have to have your guard up and be a good person and practice being active, being having a good memory, being ready to learn, listening to somebody that has some white hair, elders, learn from them. And then uh, be mindful of the speed limit, all these things, the do's and do nots, like with the Utah Navajo health system, working in a clinical setting. There are so many things that we have to be mindful of. There's cleanliness that we have to be mindful of. There's certain ways that we have to do things that we have to be careful. There's even confidentiality. There are these things that we have to go by. All of these things we have here. So that is all about Iina Bihoo'aah. That is all about Hojongo in 365. That is all about behavioral health and that is all about all that the allopathic medicine and the people that work thereof provide. That's all we're trying to do here at UNHS to make life better. And that is why we had the protection way ceremony. And that is why we had the blessing way ceremony. And our leaders, they're the ones that are into that. And then there is Michael Jensen, and then there's Byron Clark, and all of them. I mean, it's good to thank them every once in a while, just to say thank you, then to say thank you to one another that we're doing this. We are a team here. We're trying to develop camaraderie and teamwork here and to get along. And because we are on the warpath, people, that's what we are doing. All these negative energies that they're out there. They're out there. Over in Ukraine, I believe the Ukrainians, they see the Russians and their weapons. Over in Israel, they see Hamas and their weapons, vice versa. Out there. For us, our enemy, we do not see. We do not see what diabetes looks like. We do not see what cancer looks like. We can imagine and just see how ugly and awful they are, how mean they are. They are the devil's children. That's what we are up against. So it's no plaything. That's what we are up against. And these stories are here to make us be a family. And then the most important thing is to have self-awareness, and then to respect yourself, and then to help yourself, and then to take care of yourself as we go into another year, you could say, with the sun turning around. Just imagine all that negative energy going on toward the south. Nalego, as we turn around with the sun, that we just turn around with goodness, and we have this positive concept of having a good spring and having a good summer, going toward that way to help heal more people. So that's the whole thought. And be rest assured that we have protection. You can have whatever you believe in as a protection, whatever you use as a protection source. Take care of it. Take care of each other that way. I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, so I protect my family, I protect my grandchildren. So that's how we all go. I'm a traditional counselor here. I try my best to protect the behavioral health component and then stand for the whole Utah Navajo health system along with my brother Wolford and many of you. So we try to go along that way. So that's the whole intent because we have people looking at us. We have people that look up to us. So in that way, then we have to all go on. So I'm really thankful that my granddaughter, Kirsten, that she does this, that she sponsors these things and she asks me and she even texted this morning and said, "Are we going to still have this?" I said, yes, yeah, you asked me. You're my granddaughter. I have to honor your request. Even though I'm busy, I have to do that. So it goes on. We probably have another one in January and on forth. That's what we're going to keep on doing. In the meanwhile, we hope that these patients are listening out there. The patients that we have are listening. And then that I see a lot of names out there, good names out there. We'll all go on together. So have a good Merry Christmas and then have a good New Year. And some of us have to work through the holidays, which is a given. It's okay. It's good. We enjoy helping people too. Okay? So are we going to give time for some questions? Okay.